Levels of inquiry. Understanding levels of inquiry teaches you to think for yourself and helps you to take ownership of your learning. Even more importantly, it helps you understand the content of your classes at a deeper and more meaningful level. This is especially important at the college level, since your instructor will expect you to not only remember the information, but to be able to synthesize different points of view and to apply your newfound understanding of the material in both writing and discussions. This understanding also helps you break the habit of chasing the one right answer and results in a better understanding of the learning process required to answer higher level questions and solve complicated problems. The Avid for Higher Education system focuses on 3 levels of inquiry. Level 1, or memory questions. Level 2, or interpretation, analysis, application questions. And Level 3, or evaluation, synthesis, creating questions. Let's start by looking at Level 1 questions. Level 1 questions ask you to gather information or to recall information from long-term memory. This type of basic knowledge inquiry generally requires only one type of thought process or activity. Level 1 questions include, but are not limited to, labeling, identifying, recalling, recognizing, and connecting. Here are some student-generated Level 1 questions developed in response to a text entitled Practical Advice on Giving a Speech from the Ancient Greeks and Romans. What are the 3 concepts that Aristotle discusses? What are the 2 different types of proofs that Aristotle addresses? Which proof does the speaker have the most control over? As you can see, the answers to these questions are very straightforward and can be found directly in the text itself. They merely invite recognition and recall of information. Now let's look at Level 2 questions. These questions require a bit more thought and ask you to employ at least a couple of different thought processes. Level 2 questions ask you to discover relations among facts, ideas, and values. Ask you to examine subparts of a topic, and challenge you to solve a problem or generalize an idea to create a new solution. Level 2 questions include, but are not limited to, summarizing, synthesizing, comparing, contrasting, inferring, and solving. Here are some student-generated Level 2 questions developed in response to the text. How would the different types of proofs be used in the various types of speeches? What is the difference between artistic and inartistic proofs? How might a speaker effectively use artistic proofs? Level 2 questions require more than just simple recall of information. They ask you to examine the materials you have gathered more carefully in order to answer the question. The questions generated in one section may not be answered in that section, as a Level 1 question would. The information needed to answer the question may actually be in 2 different parts of the materials or in 2 different sources, requiring you to combine these different sources of information together into one coherent idea. Now let's turn to Level 3 questions, questions that are especially important at the college level. Unlike Level 1 or Level 2 questions, Level 3 questions require you to draw on your own ideas and experience to answer them, and do not have one clear-cut answer. Good Level 3 questions ask you to discover relations among facts, ideas, and values, ask you to reconstruct ideas into original forms, and challenge you to rearrange ideas to form a new structure. Level 3 questions include, but are not limited to, judging, assessing, hypothesizing, justifying, and criticizing. Here are some student-generated Level 3 questions. Does Aristotle provide actual practical advice? Why do you think Aristotle emphasized artistic proofs over inartistic proofs? Do Aristotle's ideas continue to be applicable to communication in contemporary society? Level 3 questions require you to go beyond Level 1 and 2 thinking and require you to evaluate and assess the information and come up with an original answer. When taking Cornell notes, it is important for you to write questions in the left-hand column to show that you have reviewed and interacted with your notes. Level 1 and 2 questions can serve as good study questions from your Cornell notes, which, after all, should serve as an effective study guide. However, it is equally important at the college level for you to include Level 3 questions in the left-hand column of your notes to show that you are thinking beyond the basic information included in the notes and formulating your own ideas about the content of the lesson. For more information on these and other AVID critical reading strategies, contact your content or seminar instructor or seek help in your AVID Student Center.